Nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Ruben Amorim. Let's back him. All right. He ain't going nowhere. Oh my God. I've been watching this P. Diddy thing, and the P. Diddy trial. And that's why I'm late. But we're here. That's what matters. Also, the new channel is here. Botswana reacts. Come on. That didn't sound right. Hold on. That's more like it. So yeah, so anyway, so so I've been dealing with some logistical things, but the main thing that we're here for is to acknowledge the fact that anybody that has been wasting the emotional energy, the oxygen, wanting to sack Ruben Amorim before Ruben Amorim can actually really get to actually coach, we got news for you. He ain't going nowhere. Yo. I mean, I'm happy about this for one particular reason: continuity. I am not one of those people that I'm tired of sacking managers. Right now, I want to change things at this club. And the first thing that has to change is the players. Second thing is obviously, actually, the first thing is the ownership. Let's talk about that because it's the 20th anniversary since the Glazers took over Manchester United. And it's been 13 years of caca, of doo-doo, of mismanagement, and of steady decline, which actually has been culminating in an exponential decline. Looking at how we are last season, looking at how we are this season. Matter of fact, I remember last season when things were tough, breaking record after record. Eric Ten Hag, this, until Eric Ten Hag. This hasn't happened to Manchester United until Eric Ten Hag. This, and that. You remember that? And then we thought, oh, well, surely it can't get any worse like this. But we have hit rock bottom this season. And the only thing that could put a little smile, a little consolation would be a Europa League trophy. But obviously, I want to talk about this and say, even if Ruben Amorim, pardon me, oh my God, even if Ruben Amorim does not win a Europa League trophy, he still has to be the manager next season. And that is what I want. That is my wish. And so I'm so happy to, confirm that also David Ornstein said, changing the coach is the last thing on Manchester United's agenda. Man United's priority is to try to provide Ruben Amorim with players who will allow him to play the style he wants to implement. I wish David Ornstein tweeted this on that Sunday when we are having the good, bad, and ugly, and the Monday conversation that we were having about Ruben Amorim, the match review, because this would have just told all those people to just calm down for a moment. I understand. We are very, very sad. And by the way, I want to reiterate this, that I'm not saying nobody should utter their grievances and utter out their frustrations. Matter of fact, this is what the space is built on. And this is the premise of why we're here, to exchange opinions. Exchange opinions, and maybe at some point challenge each other's opinions and disagree and agree with each other, and that's what football conversation is about. So I want to explicitly mention that, as much as my joy for saying that Ruben Amorim is here to stay at least next season, is not to rub it in the face of anybody that wants Ruben Amorim out. We're all fans of Manchester United, mostly in this community. bombastic side eye to a few folks, and also of the people that are actually, fans of other clubs. This is a space for everybody. So um I'm sort of in that sort of joy, loving the fact that we are a club that is trying to rebuild, and sometimes we need a little bit of focus, focused energy from the club itself and also from the fan base, and we need to find ways in which we can support and help be aligned with the club. And I think that will ultimately benefit us as a fan base. What good does it do if we're like so fragmented and divided that we can't even agree and with each other, and then we end up having player FC fragments in our fan base and crackheads that end up you know becoming toxic in a sense. And unfortunately, some of these circles manifest themselves in media outlets and YouTube channels where we have people with a lot of influence, a lot of following, sometimes spewing things that I think um, are just toxic. You know how Mourinho talked about toxic dressing room? We got a toxic fan base sometimes. And that also needs to be called out. So, anyway, welcome to everybody in this space. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. We got 14 people right now tuned in. I hope that you have all hit the like button. Shout out to you. Anybody that is also new to the space, you are welcome to these parts. My name is Botswana or Bots or Papi or Football Power Hour. Let's talk. Football Power Hour. First things first, shout out to Luen in the building. If you didn't know, Scott McTominay is April Serie A Player of the Month. I'm shouting out Luen because Luen just shared this. And yeah, people that have love and respect for McTominay, this is a win also for you as well. I'm one of those people that, really, really respected how much McTominay gave to Man United. He may not have had the best ability and consistency, but as we've seen, as time has told us, there's so many things that are wrong with this club. Sometimes you look back and wonder, was Scott McTominay ever the problem? I think that, when we started labeling him and Fred McFred, that in its essence is actually kind of messed up when you think about it. If you say it as a compliment to the pair, yes. But how many times have we had these conversations in this space where we say, McFred got to go and blah, blah, blah. And this was like, a little bit like, I felt sorry for the guys because they gave that blood, sweat, and tears on the pitch, and Fred especially would have been good for Eric Ten Hag system. But whatever, those are the days, those are the times. They are gone. I don't want to. Kenny will probably start writing in the chat expected Eric Ten Hag mentions. Anyway, Ruben Amorim is who we want to talk about, but obviously the flowers go to Scotty Mac. And by the way, the other thing is they are so close. I think there's only 1 point difference between Scott McTominay's Napoli and matter of fact, yes, this will wrap up our quick tangent into Italy. Serie A is one of the few leagues that haven't decided yet who the winner is, and it's a tight race. Damn, it's so tight that we might need to do a Serie A watch along and see how this league ends. Look at the difference between Inter Milan and Napoli right now. 77 points for Inter, 78 for Napoli. And yeah, this is going to go down to the wire. And if we look at the fixtures that Napoli have next, they play Parma and Cagliari. I think, and that's it, right? That's the end of the season. Yeah, Parma, and where is Parma? And let's see in the league standings where this might lead. So okay, so Parma has got to be 16th. Wow. And 14th and 16th is who Napoli have to play. I'm doing this because I want to actually find out, who do you think is going to win it? Is it going to be Inzaghi's Inter, who also have a Champions League final to worry about? Or is it going to be Napoli? So who do they have left? Inter Milan. They have Lazio. They're dead. They're in the mud. Them dead, them really dead. You think they go lads, they gonna be have to be Como? I understand. Como is I think it's Fabregas who's coaching that team. Como, they might, even though Como has actually this season been infamous for upsetting a lot of big hitters. So yeah, this is, if you're tired of Premier League and you just want to watch some league games that actually have meaning, Inter is playing Lazio and Como. And Como is 10th and Lazio is 5th. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. So shout out to Scott McTominay. If they win the Scudetto, that will be really, really nice for them. So yeah, back to our regular schedule programming. Let me give shout outs to the people that are here. I've been seeing you, Joe Blackman, Young Poppy in the building, by the way, saying I've been hit the shit out of that like button. Make sure you hit it, smash it. The way Diddy gonna get smashed by Justice. Shout out to Will. Will says I'm off to Bilbao Friday morning till after Europe final. I'm excited but absolutely nervous as well because it's £100 million game for Spurs and United to get Champions League. We must turn up. We will. We will. Shout out to Munch. It's a Munch type of joke. But and also you're taking big risks, Will. Going all the way to Bilbao. I'm excited for you, but I hope it's a it's a worthwhile trip, and I think we will. We got to beat Spurs. Shout out to also, who else is in the building? I see you, Luan Compost is in here. Have we entered the trust the process stage? I think we have. But hopefully we won't enter the what's the process stage compost. Right now we gotta trust the process, guys. All right. I'm broken after 10K run, but shout out to yo. Take some inspiration from my brother over here, Halftime with Vegeta. If you are trying to get on your fitness goals, this is the energy that we gotta be on. My brother's been running. Actually, I know because he sometimes posts his track on his WhatsApp status. And I'm like, is this safe to show everybody where you're running? But anyway, that's a story for another day. But the main thing is my broski is on a fitness trip, and I like it. I've also been doing that too, soon you'll see the the glow. It's summertime over here. I'm trying to go to pool parties and everything. You know what I'm saying? Go to the beach. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So let's get, the whole point I'm saying this is, let's all, if you've been like on the edge thinking, I should exercise. No, I'll do it tomorrow. Start doing it today. And shout out to my brother over there, Halftime with Vegeta Sama. Big up to you, Matata United in the building. Shout out to yo, how many days left till the Curry Gate? Today's what, Tuesday? I think she said we did. Pap, did the jury decide? It was 14 days to get the ingredients, if I'm not mistaken. Going to the gym today. Come on. There we go. We're gonna be checking up on this. Vegeta gym. Young Puppy hits the gym every other day, if not every day. Doctor, yes. Now you gotta stay. If you've been thinking about it, put it in here. Let the community hold you accountable. Let's do this together. Let's do a inspire each other type thing. 30. You need to stop eating then, Doctor. 30 is a lot, 30 kg. Guys, the link is in the chat, by the way, if you want to call in. Let's talk about this. Yeah, I mean, vibe check on also the that, Ornstein, we talked about it. I mentioned it already, that changing the coach is the last thing on Man United's agenda. And that gives me a little bit of joy. But I'm also, as I've had this conversation, I remember with Pav on Monday, that the recruitment has to be elite. The recruitment has to be top tier. If we stick with him and get him Delap and a bunch of unknowns that are developmental projects, then we are on a road to nowhere. We need to be acting like we're in a rebuild and actually recruiting like we're in a rebuild. And that means Wilcox, all of them got to think of inventive ways. We need to be loophole finders. We need to get the best, because it clearly just means that we don't have the best people right now. How do everybody else that has like multi-club model use it, and then when we get the owners with another club, we're not able to use it. And it means the people that we don't have the right people on the with the right ears on the streets, or if they're on the streets, they're definitely on the wrong street. So Ineos need to really, really make sure that it's a master stroke of recruitment. That is what I'm hoping this summer. And when we actually see on the first game of the season next season, we need to see a different Man United. God forbid, we saw Lindelof, Maguire, and Luke Shaw in a defensive line. Recipe of how to throw up, No disrespect to them, but also, we all know, like, this is this is the it's a weird thing to just be able to just see a club not be able to move on and evolve like this. Why are we just so stuck in with players? Another thing, by the way, if you didn't know, Man United will be having a barbecue, so we're all gonna do a barbecue along. I think we're gonna do a barbecue along on the channel as well at the end of the season. So you are invited to bring your own things, so that's the move. That's the move. They're doing this obviously because they do not see it, even if we win the Europa League, to have a like an outlandish trophy celebration. They're even canceling the end of season awards dinner, you know. So yeah, so it's gonna be a barbecue, a braai in my part of the world. That's what we call a barbecue. And yeah, let's bring our own buns and beers. You're invited to the cookout, Pav. Will they stream the barbecue? Says R10. I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. There was no bus parade for the FA Cup. I do not remember seeing pictures of that. So, you know, I think it's the right thing. There's really nothing to celebrate, even if we win the Europa League. It's just a, a little consolation, but we still have to feel the pain. Pav, are you here with us, bro?
I mean,
Yeah, big
what's
up.
well, I saw this barbecue thing earlier that they
Yeah.
were saying that they might have a little barbecue. Like, what's going on? Because I know with the lack of money, like, what we doing? Grilling lettuce on the barbecue or something? Is that what's on the
That's
menu?
that's what I'm saying. Jim is bringing the buns,
Not
and
even buns, bro. Slice of lettuce each, bro.
bro, do you know also the thing that we're not flying our staff to the Europa League final? Spurs is flying like 700 or something like that. At a big number.
Of course, they're not going to do it. Why would they fly out their staff or give them a discount ticket when they can sell them tickets on for $3,000 each, like they've been doing? I put a thing in the group chat where Man United are selling tickets onto touts for them to make Man United a profit. They're selling them at like $3,500 each.
Lord have
They're
mercy.
giving them a little commission out of it, and they're taking the rest of the money because they don't want to be associated that they're selling the tickets on their website for $3,000. So they're using external companies to do it. Honestly, 3.5K for a ticket. That's what Man United did.
It's really it worries me, but also at the same time I'm like, a penny, you've heard the phrase, a penny saved is a penny earned, right? But I hope that doing all this to be like, no, we want to splurge on transfers. We're doing everything we can to splurge on transfers. If that's the approach, I wouldn't be mad. It is making us look a little crazy.
No, and if they like I said, if they don't go out and spend upwards of 200, 250, even 300, I think, yeah, this summer after what we've seen and all them cuts, and if I get we owe money for transfers and all this and that,
yeah,
including player sales, I need to see nearly 300 mil spent. I'll be honest. Otherwise, we're gonna be battling not even mid-table, around 15th again, because we're going to have majority of the same players that are here now. So
yeah. What I'm trying to think about the fact that like we're not gonna do, if I mean, let's just put it in the atmosphere, in the universe, that we're winning the Europa League, and once we win it, we're still not gonna do a celebration. Is that unfair on the likes of, like, like say like Lenny Euro would, like,
no.
you're like,
Did we do any celebrations when Jose won it? We didn't do any celebrations. We won it. Come back, no bus parade, nothing. Moved on to the next season. We didn't do any. You never do a bus parade. Yeah, I get, like, back in the day they'd do it for the FA Cup because the FA Cup was a major trophy until, like, obviously the money's coming to football and they've kind of disregarded it a little bit.
Yeah.
Only, like, I'd say clubs other than United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool would go do an open bus parade for an FA Cup. I think them for the original top four clubs would not do an open bus parade for an FA Cup. Other, like, the rest of them would, because they don't probably win as much. The only time that you do a bus parade is for the Premier League or the Champions League, and that is it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of how do you encourage and push forward a winning mentality. Like, it's like if you're new, Pav, think about it from a player that maybe just came to Man United and is like, we're trying to also make sure that.
What do you mean winning mentality, as in to the players?
To the players, bro. Like, you gotta.
They have been winning though. They have been winning trophies. I don't know what it's like to win trophies. It's just that these idiots can't perform in the league. They know how to win knockout. They know how to perform in knockout football.
Yeah.
We've got what, 5 finals in 4 years or 5 years or something.
Yeah, 5 and. Yeah,
so they're good at knockout. When it comes to knockout football,
yeah,
they know what they need to do. But when it comes to league form, they ain't got a clue. It's honestly facts.
Yeah, it's difficult because, like, I want to just.
So like I said, they know how to win because you're on the verge of winning 3 trophies in 3 years.
Yeah.
But I don't get why you can't do it in the league.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Like, there is no parade, really. When have we had a parade for one of these sort of trophies? When?
Yeah, like, I'm trying to remember. It's we only have the award ceremony right after the final, but that's it. There's no. In recent memory, we haven't done a parade, bro. We haven't.
And they were doing a voting thing this week on their website for season player of the season. I was like, for what? Yeah. We're gonna finish 16th or 17th, and you're doing a player of the season award. Have some shame.
Nasty work. Nasty work. Thanks. Shout out to Quds. Yes, 5-5 in terms of finals, 4 in the last 3, which is crazy to think that this is our most turbulent time as well. I want to welcome people that are just tuning into the chat as well. By the way, don't forget to hit the like button. Riri in the house. Shout out Riri.
What's up, Pav? I was agreeing with you, bro. I wasn't saying no.
Ah,
I was just laughing
Yeah. Riri was
at
like,
the fact,
no,
at
and then
the fact,
no
at
parade
the
discussion.
yeah, at the
and do
fact
you know
that
what, bots?
Yeah.
Sorry, Riri. Do you know what I was going to say?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're agreeing with the no parade, yeah? But
Yeah.
I don't think I've said it. I might have said it to you already, bots.
Mm.
I said I am not congratulating this manager or these players on winning that Europa League for us. I'm not doing it. They're not getting any congratulations or thanks from me because these lot have all been criminals all year. All year long, they've been criminals.
Mm.
And I'm not congratulating them. That is the bare minimum you owe us. Yeah, after what you've made us watch. Yeah, that manager for pretty much the seasons and the players, because they did the same shit last year, continued on this year, and you've only turned up midweek.
I was just about to say this is just a continuation of last year. We just have a different coach
So
because they did the same shit last year. They won the Caribou and the FA last year. Was it
FA.
both?
That
FA,
that
right?
cup is for us and us only. Fuck all them players, bro. Go out there and
Right.
get the cup
They
for us
won. They
and
won the cup.
get
And
the
that
hell
was
out.
it.
Get the
They
hell out of
did.
my club.
They did shit else last year. Like in the Prem, they didn't really. You know, they still didn't perform in the Prem.
Yeah.
It's been I've said it. It's been a free fall. This
Mm,
free fall's been coming. Like if you notice the digression,
mhm,
not the
mhm,
progression, the
it's-
digression of our standings over the last 4 years. We
mhm.
we've gradually been going down the table. We haven't
I
been going up the table. We've been going down the table. Every year we slip a little bit more down the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I
that's why, I'm not sitting, and again, I'm going to say this. I'm not saying Amorim is not void of criticism. Constructive criticism, most definitely. Agenda criticism, however, that's a different story. Because you
mhm,
do have those fans that have an agenda, and their critique is agenda based.
And
mhm.
But
I've pretty much
if
stayed
you're
away from that, Riri, as well. What you just
right,
mentioned.
if you're
I've mine's more
criticizing,
actual criticism.
yeah, right. No, but Pav, I respect you because you're 100 all the time. You know what I mean with your critiques and stuff. But there are people who legit have an agenda against this dude, and their criticism is like you could literally poke holes in it because it's just agenda driven. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not genuine critique of, some of the mistakes that he has made. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. And Riri, where do you stand in terms of this? If we don't win the Europa League final, should Ruben continue next season from your
I
point of
think
view?
I think if we don't win the Europa finals, there's going to be some very serious discussions that are going to need to be had with regards to Ruben, not only Ruben, but regards to a lot of these players on this team, and with regards to Ineos, because I've been looking at Ineos side eye since that whole Wilcox issue. Like
Mm,
you had a man here for 6 months, and I don't even think he finished his probation period, and you fired him.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
after you had him leave his job and was out on
Yeah.
gardening leave for an additional 6 months.
Yeah.
So the way that men are moving where business is concerned and where employees are concerned,
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't trust them. I don't
And
I
that
don't
man's
trust
on
them.
the in talks with joining Arsenal as their director of football as well. So
Exactly. So I don't trust Ineos. So my concern starts from the top. It
Mm,
starts from the top with Ineos because I
mm,
don't trust them. It then comes down to Amorim if we don't beat Tottenham, because then Tottenham would have beaten us what, 5 times this season.
yeah. Yeah.
So
It'll be the
right,
fourth.
So if okay, four. So if a team's already beaten us three times, you know how they play against us. So they should not be beating us a fourth time. You should set the team up where the way they beat us the last three times, it shouldn't be the
It
way
should
they
have.
beat us. It
It
shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be.
from if it's
As a manager, as a tactical manager, as a manager looking
yeah,
at tape and looking at this team because we've played them three times already.
yeah,
So there's no reason for them to come, meet us in Bilbao and thump us up. That I will definitely be looking at him real crazy if it happens.
mm,
Um,
that's a strong.
if it's a competitive game
Yeah,
and and it goes down to the wire and because shit happens, it's football, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But
yeah,
but
yeah.
if it's like
If it's a
Tottenham come
penalty,
and right, if
it's a
Tottenham comes and bumps us off the park, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem, a huge problem, right? So yeah, so that's one. If we do on the opposite side, if we do win the Europa, I'm with Pav. These guys deserve no kind of parade. They don't even deserve barbecues. I
yeah.
think these guys should definitely go home and think about their lives. Um, and and yeah, and then Ineos has got to do something in the summer, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said yesterday, I would hope for at least six signings this summer. It doesn't
Mm,
have to be all six big signings,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
at least six signings this summer. They got to do something, bro. They cutting corners everywhere. Like everywhere they cutting. They cutting the bread, they cutting the cheese, they cutting the milk. Bro, like
They're gonna just have like water for drink. They're gonna
Bro,
exactly.
Luke Shaw, yeah, is gonna be at the barbecue, bro. He's gonna go like to the chef. He's gonna pull out his plate, bro. He's gonna be expecting like some burgers, hot dogs, like some pork ribs, beef ribs, all kind of ribs, bro. Man's gonna get served up some lettuce, bro. That's gonna be the barbecue.
oh my god, Luke Shaw is not having oh bro. Let me bring
Luke
this.
Shaw's gonna have to bring in his own secret supply.
No, I think he's gonna volunteer to be by by the meat. He's gonna be like, I get, you know what I mean?
The
They gotta
best
do
thing the club can do is
yeah,
not spend them couple hundred, let's say 1,000 or £2,000 on that grub that they probably don't care about. Let them go off on their little rest up, go on their holidays. Yeah, because they're starting pre-season early. I think where are they going? They're going somewhere in is it Malaysia? They're going for a game because they want to make some money. So let them go have a little rest, go do
yeah,
that, and then go on your little holiday again, and then come back for pre-season.
yeah, yeah. Craziness, craziness. No, Papa Riri, let me welcome somebody else into the show real quick. Let's talk to King Says real quick. King Says, how you been? Long time, brother. You there?
It's been a long time, nah? It's been a long time.
A
Oh,
long
it's
time, bro. I think the last time we talked was like Eric Ten Hag was still manager. We haven't talked ever since Ruben was manager.
listen, listen, listen. Yeah,
Where have
I've
you
been
been
so
manager?
depressed after games. Listen, I've been so depressed after games. Like I don't even come online anymore. Like it's that
Bro,
bad. Like I've been through it this season. I've been through it. I've
like to
been
the
through
point
it.
where you sabotage, bro. Like what?
Nah,
you have
nah, nah, nah.
yeah.
I've been
Speak
through it, bro. Like
speak
as
on it.
for
Okay.
Ruben,
Yeah, talk about Ruben because like we've never even you talked about like after he was appointed. Were you excited? Are you Ruben? Where are you now? Has he disappointed you? Where has he disappointed you?
can I be honest real quick? Yeah.
Please.
Do you remember when Ten Hag was the boss now, and we went to Porto and we were 3-1 down halftime or something like that. It was mad. Yeah.
Yes.
I literally wrote off the season that moment. That day I was like, we ain't doing nothing. And I knew, like a part of me knew, like we ain't gonna do anything this season. And like when Ruben came in, I was like, and I read up on him about how he took like time at Sporting, and like they literally just were fourth the entire time he was there. Like they didn't go anywhere. Like they went from fourth to fourth. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let this one like go through it this season. I'm just gonna write it off completely. I'm still gonna watch games and support my team, but like I was gonna like write it off completely. And like at the very least I wanted to like see like if there's like some things we're doing, like are we creating more chances? Are we holding more of the ball? Are we conceding less chances or things like that? You know, so far there's been games where I'm like, you know what, we weren't that bad, but we lost. Like we weren't bad, like we were okay, we didn't lose. And there were games where we were awful and we somehow won.
Yeah.
Like being awful. And to
So
me, man, like
so Ruben actually has talked about this,
yeah,
saying that
no, to
not
me,
we're
like
not we're
with
not
Amorim,
excited
I'm
in
gonna
Europe,
stick.
but where we have a little bit of that attitude that we cannot lose this game. We have not
I'm gonna
we
like
to lose this game. That's what Ruben has said. But sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Let me not interrupt your train of thought.
yeah, no, I'm still Amorim in. I still think he deserves a chance.
Okay.
You know, I'm I'm not a very like trigger happy Man United fan. Like
Nice.
once things go bad, I'm kind of like, oh no, like get rid. You
Yeah.
know, in
Uh-huh.
football, like these things happen.
Yeah.
I know we're big Man United, but like these things happen. Like th- it's shambolic. It's a
Hmm.
disgrace, but these things happen.
I
You
hear it.
know.
I hear you got a level head, brother, right now, and I like it. It's great. It's great because, like, you know, Europa League. Sometimes like I know people that some people that are saying if he loses, he's gotta go, and there's some people that are even giving more context. Like Riri just said, it's like the way in which we lose matters if we lose, right? And given the fact that you've played this team so many
Yeah.
times, and it means like either your lessons are not going through or your lessons are wrong, are bad, to the players. I think that was a very, very interesting perspective. So yeah, okay, well, we'll be here. We'll be here, King says, when the final happens, and then we'll see it all unravel. But right now, for me, when I saw the assurance from David Ornstein saying changing the coach is the last thing on Man United's agenda, I was like yes, because I'm not trigger happy. Yeah. So we'll see how it all unravels. But how do you feel about it, by the way, the final? Do you think we're gonna
I think like honestly, I think Casemiro is probably gonna like score a header or something, and it's gonna end like 1-0.
Hey man, I'll be there for it. 1-0. Isn't that
1-0.
that
Like
Newcastle Carabao Cup? Didn't we like win it also like through?
yeah, like it's not gonna be anything special. I think both
Yeah,
teams are gonna be like awful, and it's
yeah,
gonna be like that one moment where like Casemiro headers the ball or something. And I
yeah.
think Tottenham are weakened. If they had full strength, we would be we would be getting turned over.
Hey, please. So everything is just lining up for us to lift that trophy, and fingers crossed. Praying. But
Yeah,
big up,
yeah,
broski.
we
So
have
good to hear
to.
from you, man, and to hear that you're good as well, bro.
Yeah, man, we're living.
Keep your head up.
Yeah. Big up, man.
King, shout out to King. Then like Young Puppy in the building, Bali Tech in the house. Big up, guys, and Doctor as well. Shout out to you guys.
Yo, yo,
Hey,
yo.
Yes, big
how
up,
are
my
you?
boys.
Big up
Yes,
Yeah,
to
doctor.
everyone in the panel. Big
yeah,
up to everyone in the chat. We're
yes.
gonna kill it tonight, man. What's
Come on.
everyone
Wait,
saying?
Tonight?
What?
but
What?
Luann put something in the chat there, and she's saying that that I am mad at the players. Is that what she's saying?
Let's see. Ed Riri, you're starting to moan at the players and the whole team instead of keeping a steady head like I expect of you. That's what Luan said.
I don't think I was moaning at the players. In what as Doc, you heard what I said, right? Did I sound like I was
No,
moaning at
yeah,
the players?
no. I actually don't. I didn't get that from what you said.
All I said is that they don't even deserve a barbecue. I mean,
Yeah, like
if my
they need.
let me tell you something. I have a child, and if she's only doing well in math and not doing well in English, science, and all her other subjects, she's not getting nothing from me.
Exactly.
That's how
Really?
I operate in my daily life.
You sounded like
No,
Mav, Luan
Yeah,
says.
no
no.
PlayStation.
And I
Okay,
don't understand that being moaning
no,
at
but
the players. If you're doing well
See,
in the
this
Europa, but
is
you're
what's
not
wrong
doing
with Man
well
United
in
fans.
any
no,
other thing, like I
This
don't
is
understand that.
everything that is wrong with Man United fans. The people
no.
sit
So
there, allow things to happen, and act like there's nothing going wrong.
no,
There's
But I
absolutely
wasn't
nothing
moaning.
wrong.
But no, but
what it's not
I don't think
moaning
I was
about.
moaning at the players.
Just saying, in the Europa League they're fine. Or they're still shit anyway. But in the Premier League they are horrible. So what Riri is trying to say is, just because they won the Europa League, we shouldn't say congratulations. They need to get it together. I don't know. I think that's what I got from what Riri said. So they don't
That's
deserve the
exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I
they don't
said.
deserve
Think at the
the
moment, guys, our relationship is toxic. Yeah.
yeah.
No, and I
Also,
said
Uh,
that
they don't get
yesterday. I
anything.
said that yesterday too. I said this fan base is exceptionally, and I'm not singling out any one person, but the relationship of this fan base is crazy toxic. And
Oh yeah,
I don't think this
true.
is today. I don't think it was yesterday. I just think that because of social media, it's heightened and it's actually visible now. But the United fan base has always been somewhat toxic, even before there was social media and these platforms to express oneself and say what one is feeling regarding the team.
yeah,
Because
we've been.
I'm sure when Beckham got sold and Ronaldo got sold, there were a lot of fans that had a lot to say about that, and Sir Alex and all of that. I'm
People,
sure of that.
people forget when Giggs was younger, and he used to frustrate the fan base so much. Yeah, when people were at the stadium, they would abuse him and call him out because he wasn't doing something correct. That guy got so much flack off the fans. Yeah, there weren't no social media about. People doing it in the stadiums. People do it still now in the stadiums. So what? Are we
Yeah.
just supposed to sit there and not say anything, not moan, not like obviously give our criticism to them? Like what? Just sit there act like nothing's going on.
Actually, Riri was being nicer about a lot nicer than Pavis about it though,
Yeah,
because
no, I
Pavis
think
is gonna
Unfortunately,
take cuss
we're
everybody out.
no. We're, unfortunately, most of us, especially in there, we're not like the younger fan base. Like we know what we're watching in it. So if we see crap, we're likely to crash it out on these players because really we could be doing all sorts. We could be developing our businesses. We could be chilling out with our family. We could be doing all types of different things, going on holidays.
yeah.
But we're taking out our precious time
An
to
hour and a
invest it
half.
into this team. And what's happening is rather than giving us good performances, yeah, they're giving us crap performances. Rather than giving us gold, they're giving us turds. Yeah, they're giving us feces, and it's shout out
What's
to
that?
Pav with the feces. Yeah, they're giving us feces on the pitch. Yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, Manchester United have to do better. They have to do way better than what they're doing. They move the ball around slow. They let little teams come beat us up at Old Trafford. We've been beaten back to back by I've never seen so many teams beat us
Teams
back to back
like
in one season in my
Mhm.
whole entire life.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey, you know
we
what
have
irritates
the
me though
most
with the
diabolical
ball play?
striker up front. Yeah, he is a Viking. He's the most dustiest Viking I've ever seen. And I hope they send his contract to Valhalla this season.
Wow.
I hope that is it.
Shout out to
I
Hey,
Marvel.
hope that his
when
contract
he
gets sent
reaches
to
Valhalla,
Valhalla.
yeah, when he reaches there, yeah, the gates ain't opening for him, bro. The gates
Not
aren't opening.
Valhalla. Good Lord.
Did you just finish watching Thunderbolts? Question, because that's the only or something like that.
Doctor, why are you ruining things here?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Vegeta, how are you today? Are you in
Yeah, now I no
in
longer
any
under those
better mood,
thanks,
bro?
Uh, pretty happy. I think the run did me a world of good. I'm refreshed.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Big up,
I'm
Omo.
glad
How
to hear
you
that.
doing as well, Omo?
I'm just happy,
Why is this
enjoying this,
awesome here?
enjoy this sadness that's going on here. Because
No.
I'll say brace for it, but people want to run from it. But either way, I don't want to. I don't let me not bring the mood down. So
That
I
would be
agree with
so
everything.
unlike you, Omo. That would be
I
so unlike
know.
you.
Um,
I'm not because again I want to listen. I don't want to do anything out of character. Wait, I am out of character. But either way, to fast forward, what I'm trying to say is
uh,
listen. Everybody is right. Everybody's right. Two things can be right. Three things can be right. Like everybody is right, and it's like it's a whole pot of mess. And is like everybody's adding to the pot of mess. Like yes, what you add is true. What you add is true. I'm not gonna deny it. But again, I will see you all May 21st.
Omo.
The camera comes back on May 21st. I'll be in chat.
All
I'll
right,
be,
all right.
but I'll be on StreamYard May 21st.
With the whiteboard, hopefully.
Oh no! Whiteboard is for next season. That's for August. Because knives are coming out. Knives are coming out. No matter who the manager is. But either way, see you all
Okay,
May
so
21st.
so we asked this question on the round table yesterday, and I want to ask this panel here. How many signings do you think, logical signings, do you think we need this summer to make a push for, let's say, fifth or sixth in the league next season?
Hey,
Don't forget the notebook. 6.
In summer, remember we're gonna
6
have two
signings.
windows, summers and January. So
Yes,
6
16
signings.
in total. 16 in total. 8 in summer. 8 in January.
damn,
6 signings. 6 signings to
Hold
make
on.
top 6.
What does the great one think about it? How many signings do we need?
I think Doctor's high. I'm not gonna lie. 16 signings, bro.
Yes,
I said I
Doctor.
divided it evenly. I said 8 in the summer, 8 in January.
We
I know
got
that's
Dogu.
which
We
team
got
does
Dogu the first January.
eight
You think of
signings
signing 10
in
players
January? No team
Chelsea.
does that.
Chelsea,
think of
Chelsea do it. Chelsea do it.
Chelsea.
And technically, yeah, we've already done like 2.
I think
or 1.
we gotta.
No, we've
Nottingham
done 1
Forest
already.
recruiting is because Forest did how many? I think they did 8 in 1. Let me just double check this. So let's look. That's more like realistic in my opinion. The Nottingham Forest way. Here we go. Oh yeah,
Don't look at me like
one.
that, girl. God.
Ooh, okay. They had Anderson, Milankovic, Sosa. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 signings in one window.
and it broke PSR and got points, Doctor.
They
Context.
got 4 points deducted.
Yeah,
I feel
but
like
the context shouldn't be, we violated PSR. The context should be, what type of team do we have? Because if we've done this, best believe we should have a team that's ready to challenge for something.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you're gonna go for 9, it requires us to also do the same thing. So
So, but like, you know, like from those 9, you get like 6 Liam Delap's type signing, right? And then like maybe one
somebody's eating their mic.
what?
Somebody's eating their mic, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wearing headsets.
Please be gentle with the mic. Pause. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I was saying. I was wondering. Oh yeah. Marquee signing, developmental signing from those 9. How many? You know, Compost is here saying not 6 Dorgus, which is
Nah, bro. You know, I don't know where we think this thing of 6 marquee or what. That's just no. You need 6, 7 out of 10 players who are going to consistently deliver, and then maybe one talisman. This thing of trying to sign. What are we doing, brother? We just need people who can actually function in this system, because these guys can't even function right now. They're failing.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm slightly rejecting that. We need some players who are going to come into this team and take it by the scruff of the neck. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we
so you're
need
telling
at
me-
least 4 top level signings that can walk into other people's teams. We need
so then
4
ask a
top level
question.
signings.
that's 4 marquee signings, is what you're saying.
Wait.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
How many of our players this season consistently deliver a consistent performance? 7 out of 10 means we know what we are getting from you every week, for the most part, on average.
Okay, so how I
I'm
would
just-
counter, how I would rebuttal that, I would say right now the level of our team has been going down season after season. Now, if you look at this team as it stands now, Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, they don't get into anybody's team. They don't.
But I don't think we need to think like that. That's the
Ahmad
problem.
Ahmad could probably start in some Premier League teams, but not all. If we're going to be realistic, because you have some players that play in his position that are on fire for other teams, right? So then when we start going into the realms of how good is our attack, really, it's not that good. Yes, Ahmad can get into some teams, but not all of them. So, but Garnacho and Højlund is not getting into anybody's team. So we're actually lacking. We need 3 players that can play for anybody in the top 6. We need one midfielder to either accompany Bruno or Ugarte that can walk into anyone's team. If we have that, I believe, don't get me wrong, I would still like another centre back and another goalkeeper. But if we can just address that, then I believe we can be in the top 4, because we have 4 players that are ready to hit the ground running and ready to bang. Yeah, not players that are, we have to give them time, they have to learn the league, they have to. No. We have 4 players that are ready to go. These men are like leaders. They're ready to galvanize the team. They're ready to take the game by the scruff of the neck. That's what we need. We don't need players that they wanna feel their way into the system. They wanna feel their way into the league. They wanna feel their way into everything. No, we need players that are ready to go. Bro, we've been waiting on these projects for God knows how many years, bruv. Yeah, over a decade. Like, we've been waiting on these projects. The time is now. I don't want this club to. We've spent like over $1 billion. We need to stop with the wastage. Start buying players that we know are gonna go and do stuff.
Can I just elaborate?
Okay, go ahead, Vijay.
The biggest problem, you see, when you look at the question that was asked earlier about top 4, top 5, and whatever top you want to be in, from 15, pause. You need consistency, right? Because even fantastic players aren't going to be 10 out of 10s every week. But if you can get a group of players that on average, I'm not saying every week, on average, deliver you a consistent performance. So people who are going to turn up to work.
Thank
Because sometimes we pursue Marquis, and then Marquis wants to be have attitude and feel themselves. And no, we don't need those people. We need professionals, basically, in this initial stage. That's all I was saying. I'm saying, would you not rather like to see a team that every week you know what you're gonna get from them? More often than not, they're getting 3 points because they are
7 out of 10, basically. You want 7 out of 10s.
Yes,
So
because we're
so
not gonna leapfrog from here to all of a sudden the cake is baked. I'm just saying.
sure.
That's just where I'm coming from. I'm not saying
Right.
I
Yeah,
want projects or
I'm
whatever.
just tired of these rock and roll coaches that have come up that can't even do nothing. You know, just give me an old school bloody coach, probably a racist one too. Take me back to football, bro.
You don't know.
I'm tired.
No. You
Bro,
took
I'm
it too
tired,
far.
bro.
Kick
You
him
took it
out,
too
bro.
far there.
Racist.
You took it
What
too
the
far
hell
there.
is
You
carrying on?
took it too far. I was all with
Come
you
on.
until you said the racist one. But
Kenny,
I'm
come
gonna
on.
be
Have
real,
you
yeah.
not learned from our
He's
Yo,
tired of
Kenny,
foreign times. He wants to go
no
back.
joke,
But
no.
I'm
Like
gonna be real
Kenny's
with
been
you.
moving real crazy lately, like legit.
But I don't
He's
think
like, yeah,
Amrin makes it. I don't think Amrin makes it because he needs to. This is getting very Ten Hagish. I've just deeped it. It's getting very Ten Hagish. Wait till he gets his players. He gets his players. The players have got to bang straight away. It's not gonna
But
happen.
wait. No. But wait. So that's an assumption on the fan base's part because at no point did this guy say he needs players. At no point did he say that.
Yeah, he
We, the
did.
fan base,
Yeah, he did.
In the last
we.
press
Are you
conference, what did
talking
he
about
say?
Amorim?
Oh,
Are you talking about Amorim?
I didn't listen to the last press conference.
He said that
He
Ineos
said
need to
we need
go
to
out
have a big
strong.
summer. He
Yeah,
said
he
we
said
need
we
to
need
have
to
a
have
big summer.
yeah.
Okay, so even if he said we need to have a big summer, that's not him saying we needed to have a big summer a long time ago, bro.
When he says that is him
We are
saying it.
legit. We are
But
legit
this
still
is
playing. We are hold up. Let me
but
say this. We are legit, and I said this to Bods the other day, and he opened his eyes really big. We are legit still playing Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw in 2025 in our back line. We were supposed to have a big summer a long time ago.
He didn't start it with them. They ended up being the back three because Euro got injured.
But Pav, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
So you're not gonna. There isn't anyone else to bring on. There isn't anyone else to bring on, is there?
Pav, my point is, if our people were doing what they were supposed to do, we should not still have Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw in this team.
Shaw should have
Box,
gone
this is my
ages
main point.
ago.
Anyway, Box, this is my main point.
Let's hear
This is my
Buddy
main point.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is my main point. When he came to the club, nobody thought or expected to be 16th. Let's have it right.
Sure,
Let's
nobody.
be real. Secondly, if this was a job, he's failed his probation period. He should be sacked. Let's be honest about it. He's failed his probation period. He didn't even hit a benchmark.
No. Technically, he hasn't completely failed his probation period because he's in the finals of the Europa League. So as a job, and somebody who's done administrative and been in HR, he would get a write-up and a strict warning that if this continues, then he will get fired. And I'm telling you, as somebody who's been in HR.
You can't use that comparison with a standard job. You know what he's doing. It involves money, big money, for the club.
Bro, Bodytech is the one
failing,
Bodytech is the one that said he's failed in a job. He's failed his probation period, and I'm telling you.
No, that's what Wrap Up just said.
Wrap Up said. I'm sorry, Wrap Up.
I said that.
You can't. If you're gonna use that, then I can debunk that 10 ways to Sunday. So don't use that.
I'll say this. If this wasn't the Europa League and it was the final of the FA Cup, he's gone. he's gone at the end of the season regardless of the result. Because it's the Europa League, yeah, again, I still think that any of us are going to sit there and have a discussion whether he's the man or not before, committing into buying players for him, because it's a big risk. They've done it with Ten Hag and they miserably failed. Yeah. Brought in the DOF, ended up sacking him after 5 months. Yeah. Now we have no DOF and they're going to go out and buy players for his system for, let's say they spend 200 mil on this guy in the summer, 250, and we're getting the same results for the first 5 games. There's people who are Amorim in now saying that they're only giving him 5 games. So how are you giving him only 5 games if you're Amorim in? It's a big risk. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and cry if he stays in the job, innit? I won't cry because I know that if it goes wrong, I was right again, just like I was right last year. But it's not in my hands.
Yeah. I think there's the context, like what I liked about what Riri said earlier on is, say you've played Spurs 3 times and you lose again. Like, what are you showing? How are you fixing? Well, I understand you're playing a different system, but it's a big cause for concern. If you get,
you know what's that?
And
you know what's damning?
Yeah. What?
But you know what's damning? PSG have beaten more Premier League teams than we have in 2025. PSG, they're not even playing our league. In 2025, they beat a more Premier League.
That was just the luck of the draw.
To be fair, all these comparisons. To be fair, I could legit do without them. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about PSG. I don't give a shit about Arsenal and what Arsenal's doing. I don't give a shit about what Liverpool is doing. I don't give a shit what Tottenham is doing. I only give a shit about Manchester United. So all these stupid ass comparisons that people come up with, like when they were trying to compare Yamal to Garnacho and all of that shit, get the fuck over it, bro. Like legit, move on.
It's poor. No matter how you slice it and dice it, it's poor. You can't. There's nothing really to back, and we got to be honest about it.
Just say it's poor and stop comparing us to other people. Just say it's poor.
Are we not an elite club?
Not anymore, we're not.
We haven't been an elite club for 10 years or more. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you going off in the name Manchester United?
Yeah, but
we have not acted like an elite club ever since Fergie's retired. He was the only thing keeping us going, and he's also part of the reason why we're in this mess anyway. Yeah, and get like he's done a lot for us, but he's got blood on his hands as well.
I need you to explain why. I think he was keeping it together. I feel.
Of course, it was him and Mr. What's his name? Gil. I forgot his first name. It was them two running it. Yeah.
Argument over horse.
I think the fact that like Ruben signed an 18-month contract is telling to the maybe Ineos were just trying to try out this back 3 thing, see how bad it could get. And now, like after that, they have to review it. They have to sit down and say, is this a rebuild we can afford? Because we wanted to try something.
Or they need to get sacked as well.
I agree with SLD. Fergie out.
That's why Ineos cut off the money, man. They're like, brother, this is on you and that fucking horse, man.
It's not an 18-month contract, bro.
No, I understand the succession plan wasn't great, but Fergie did a lot for us. We can't just be spewing that. Come on,
bro. I'm joking, bro. I'm not even. I'm just. I'm
you
joking.
have to
I'm
understand the sense of humor. When she said it, I just knew. That's why I didn't respond.
I'm not even being serious.
Making sure for the people at the back that are slow like me, you gotta make sure you make you spell it.
But why are you acting like you ain't an A-star student?
Are you admitting to the group that you rode the short yellow bus? Is that what you're saying to us?
Everybody feel included.
But I'm saying, are you admitting to the group that you have an IEP? Is that what you're telling us?
Hey, yellow bus.
Why is Bots acting like he ain't an A-star student?
I just had to sit with Riri. Yellow bus lives matter. Cunny is back. Peter is in the building. Big up to you,
bro.
Guys.
What you mean? Why was I even simping? Anyway,
because you wanted to go back to.
Listen, I don't even know what Riri was talking about. Me moving mad. I don't know what she's talking about, man. Like, what up? Anyway, to be honest, bro, I just want an old school manager that just teaches basic football. I think that's what we need at this club right now. All these rock and roll fancy, short trousers wearing rockers, bro, like they are not doing anything for me, bro, in my eyes. I'm sick of
Moncler
it.
jackets, bro. Moncler
jackets and all this.
You've got one idea. You've got one idea, and it's
what kind of a
horribly.
manager's got one idea, one formation, bro? You can't even like change things in the game.
Then call
Bro.
Harry Redknapp.
And all these scholars,
Honestly, I don't understand you people.
All these
yeah?
scholars that think they've got wait, Doc, let me get this shit off my chest. And
Okay,
all
get
these
it off
bloody
your chest.
scholars.
Don't blame the drip.
Bro, you know what? Exactly.
I can see what they're doing, what he's doing. I can see it. I feel it. I can. He's cooking.
Come on. Yeah, all these scholars in the fan base, I think they've got the divine right to be able to take to criticize or give their takes. Like some of us, just because I ain't got no budgets, football budgets, I can't. I'm telling you, you can. Let me not get serious.
Bro, somebody said that to F today, and I was like,
there's a
growing
growing tendency in the fan base. I think that just because you are actively associated in football, then the other people's opinions don't carry any weight. You know what I mean? A bunch of bollocks. Anyway, moving on. This dude is on blood fraud alert, but stop. I'm trying to be serious. SLD also down there in the chat. Who the hell do you think I am, bro? You think I drink all the time? Get your act together, boy. You know what I mean?
Hey, SLD just put, I agree with Kenny, bring back racismo.
SLD is on one. I swear to God, he's been putting out like
He's
a troll.
Do
you know what?
Hey, SLD's about to put in the chat, Kenny hates black people.
Can you just mention names?
Man, you're crazy.
I'm stirring the pot. I'm stirring the pot. Don't listen to me.
You're stirring the pot like your neighbor stirred curry?
Hey, boss.